right. Hi, this is round two, which is why I'm feeling more uncomfortable. Um, I am a social worker at Lord's at Home. So, this is a home care service which is usually given to people who have recently been in the hospital and are now back in their home setting. So it usually has like a spiritual care, a skilled nursing, a social worker, and sometimes friendly volunteers as well. So my client is a 75-year-old woman named Mary. She is recently been discharged from the hospital because of a fall that she had, and both her and her doctor have referred her to social work help. So this is my initial meeting with her in her home. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. And
It's
yourself?
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
My
you.
name is Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
Thank you for letting me come here and visit you in your home.
Not a problem.
How have things been since you've gotten back home?
They've been slow. They've been slow. Definitely not as they were before the incident, but it's been a process.
Right. Can you describe a little bit what your life was like before you had the fall?
Before the fall, I was just so much more independent. And now I'm in pain, and life is just harder. Life is all around harder. I felt free beforehand, and now I'm constrained.
Right. Right. And that's unfortunate because you're living alone currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have feelings of isolation?
Absolutely. Since before the fall, my dog had passed away, and
I'm sorry.
that was thank you.
That's tough.
That was very difficult for me. Very difficult. My family, and one of the reasons, that my doctor and I, we both have concerns, and one of those concerns is that, well, I am here alone, and I'm afraid. I don't want to end back up in the hospital again.
That's very understandable. The hospital is not a place that most people willingly want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It feels much better to have a sense of independence in your home, and so I'm sorry that you're feeling that way right now.
Thank you.
Were you a member of a church? Did you spend time with your family at all?
I was very active, very active. You should have seen me. I used to sing in the choir. I had a solo last Christmas, an Ave Maria. It was beautiful, and my kids, I love them to death, and my grandkids, but I'd hate to trouble them. I don't want to be a burden to anybody, and it's been difficult. They have moved on, and the school year has started, and they have their own kids, and they're busy, and I miss those times. I miss them.
Yeah, no, you say that they've moved on. Do you feel a little bit alone now in your recovery process?
Mm-hmm. I have one. I was going to physical therapy, and it's no longer in the budget, and I do have my nurse come once a week. She's wonderful, Linda. She's amazing, and but I do have that sense of isolation a little bit of that loneliness here. My kids, I am so proud of them. I love them, and my grandkids, I miss them dearly.
Are you pretty active in their lives? Do you have good relationships with them?
Absolutely. I like to think I'm the favorite grandparent. Oh, my Harold, since my husband passed, my Harold, and my kids have been everything to me. They've been my everything, and they're doing wonderful things. Oh, I have pictures of them.
I'd love to see.
Just look at my family, and those are the twins, and we have great relationships, but there's a time difference, and I don't have a cell phone, and I don't know what this book face thing is, and I feel so distant, and I feel so apart.
You seem very proud of your family.
I am very proud of my family.
That's great. Those are good emotions to have. I'm glad that you're feeling positive about some things right now.
Me too. They're what keep me going.
That's good. So I heard three different things that I wanted to draw a little bit of attention to. The first is that you said you used to see a physical therapist, but it wasn't in the budget for you any longer.
Mm-hmm.
Through at-home care, a physical therapy is included.
Oh.
So you would be able to see a therapist again, and that's something that we could get you connected with. If you need that service to kind of help you feel a little bit more independent in the home, maybe a little bit stronger, a little bit more sure of yourself, especially since maybe a little bit of doubt has crept in.
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful. That would be just perfect. I could really use it.
That's definitely possible. The second thing that I hear is that you used to have a lot of activities that you were involved in, and maybe you don't do those as often these days. Would you be interested in maybe talking about some ways we can reincorporate your social life back in to play, and maybe do some things that you can do at home by yourself?
I would love that. I would love that. I used to be such an active member in this community, and between my church group and my Bible study, and I used to do service at the local food shelter, but I don't want, some days my hip is just not there, and asking for rides can be quite difficult, and I don't want to be that. I used to be the one that used to provide, and now I'm the one that needs, and I don't know how to, I just don't know.
That's a huge transition. It really is, going from having such a sense of self and that identity to having it change so quickly.
Drastically.
Yeah.
It's like I blinked and now here I am.
And that's like a very difficult situation to go through. I'm really glad that you thought that maybe some social work would be beneficial to you. Mainly because of the third thing that I heard when we were first talking, is that I'm wondering if you're showing some signs of depression, or if you're feeling any sort of helplessness or hopelessness or down in the dumps, any of those feelings lately?
Definitely.
Yep.
I used to, I may be old, but I used to be the life of the party, I tell you. And now when my husband passed, I felt a lot of the things that I'm feeling now. And it's very hard because my kids aren't around to be there, and I used to rely on my pastor as well and that community to get me through it. And now I just don't, I lost my purpose. I've lost my purpose, and I don't know how. I have faith that it can get better, but to move up from here is, I don't quite see that path right now, and it's bringing down my heart.
Some of your previous coping skills were spending time with your family and spending time with your church.
Yes.
Do you incorporate your faith into your home life currently?
Always. When I'm able to, I pray the rosary, and I do that daily. And when the time comes around, occasionally I will try to find a sermon here or there on television. And but outside of that, I just lost that, and I'll never lose my faith, obviously. However, I do miss being able to sing in the choir and see so many of my community members and be able to contribute to society in some sort of way.
That social life was really important to you.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah. Have you been noticing any changes in your sleeping patterns?
Well, it depends on the day of the week, but I think I sleep more now. I go to bed, and when I'm able to finally get the pain manageable, and I end up falling asleep, and in the morning, I just continue to sleep, and I stay there, and the house is taken care of, and I don't have anybody else to see or nothing to do, so there's no point in me getting up and going about my day when there's nothing to my day.
And what about your appetite? Are you eating more? Are you finding that you're eating less?
I pick here and there. I do. I miss the grand holiday parties we used to have, and the pot roast, and now my friends have been wonderful. the ladies at the church have been absolutely fabulous, but so one could only have so many casseroles. I mean, I have enough tuna casseroles in the fridge to last me for weeks, and I'm really appreciative of it, but it doesn't bring me quite the joy that it used to, and I could make it for myself and for other people, and yeah, the family thing, that was food. That's what that was about for me. That's how I grew up with my mom, and now it's just lost its appeal. You got to do it to survive.
Do you have any family in the immediate area?
Not blood family.
Not blood family.
Not blood family.
Church family, though?
Always will have the Lord and have my church family.
That's important.
It's very important. It's very important.
Do you find some solace in that?
Yes, and oftentimes I think about them, and when I do have the chance per se to speak to my family, I get to tell them about my friends and the wonderful people at church. But as of now, I don't know how I can get back to where I was, to the old me, to the old Mary.
Yeah, no, and I think that's something that we can work on finding again together. Definitely, even if you just need a helping hand for that.
I'd appreciate that so much.
Of course.
That would be wonderful.
Sometimes we tend to see our problems as one really big problem that's hard to tackle, but part of my role in this would be helping you break down those problems into much smaller, manageable sizes that we could tackle day by day, one by one, week by week. Because sometimes when we're not feeling good, we do less, and we spiral downward, right? We're feeling bad, we're not doing those things that make us feel better. But slowly, if you incorporate some things that make you feel better, naturally you'll start to want to do more again. And I sense that that's something that you'd like.
I'd love that more than anything. Right now I have faith, and I have my faith, and I put that faith in you, and while I can't see that process now or how this miracle may occur, I do believe that it is possible, and a lot of my independence can now be regained.
I believe that as well. Thank you very much for letting me come in and meet with you.
Thank you for stopping
by. It was a
by.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Yeah.
darling, please. I look forward to you coming back.
Yes.
Take as many tuna casseroles in the fridge. They're all yours, my dear. Thank you.
It was great meeting with you today.
Wonderful, a pleasure. God bless you.
Thank you. Did it pause? No.
No.
How about now? No. How about